Alright, greets peeps, we are back and we are now able to discuss how diplomacy works. Whoa, we've met meetin? The heck? We've met mushroom people like us. They're fanatic militarist, which is okay because we're part militarist, but they are egalitarian as opposed to us being authoritarian. So we're going to say I'm not going to mention anything about our authoritarian ethics. I'm just going to mention our militarist. Do not be held back, plebeians, pobellians. Now, we can speak with the pobellans. Their opinion of us is -60 because we allow we've got border friction with them, so we share borders with them. We're a new contact, but that goes away. They don't like us being slavers, and they don't like us being authoritarian tyrants. We don't like them because we share a border and because they're egalitarian, but we may still be able to... They're suspicious of us at the moment. But I think we could probably turn that around. Let's have a look at where they are. They're up there. We're sharing borders. That's all good. We're going to... We've already got open borders with them. Let's... well, let's go through the list of things we can do. So we can improve our relations with them. We can harm relations with them. We can declare war. We can make claims. We can open trade deals. In trade deals, we can swap our resources or systems or information or favors for the same from them, depending on what... If we had a massive supply of one resource, we could either suggest a one-off or a monthly amount to give them for resources we were short on, rather than... we haven't seen the market yet, but the market has an inherent cost to trades, whereas direct trades don't, and they can be really useful because it's just resource for resource rather than in the market going resource to energy to other sort of resource. It's a lot more efficient this way, basically. But let's try doing a trade deal. Let's see if we can trade communications. Oh. Nope. They're suspicious of us. So they're not going to give us anything at the moment because they're suspicious of us. Nope. They won't even give us favors because suspicious. So we can't really do any trading with them at the moment. But we can get them away from being suspicious by spending a long time improving relations with them. Other things we could try to do. Nope, suspicious stops all of the other options. We could insult them, but no, we couldn't. We need them to be tense. We can do that. We could declare them our rival, but they are stronger than us, despite that we've built a navy to become equivalent. Oh no, they've been building their navy too. Okay, we need to build our navy up some more. So I think what we'll do, we'll see if we can improve relations with them. We'll send Huckleberry Life over there. Huck Life, yo. We'll send him over there. Oh, they're harming our relations. We're improving relations. We'll see if we can counteract their opinion. So last month it changed by 0. Let's see what happens next month. Changed by -22. Because why? I think that may be counting that maybe counting that border friction. No, that new contact. Wait for another month and see.
Anomaly found.
Oops, so they've closed their borders to us. Yep, okay, so them closing their borders gave -20. Let's wait for another month, see what happens. They've rivaled us. Okay, so there's no point trying to improve with them. Let's just rival these clowns. So now we've got rivals on either side of us. Good to know. We do get a pop-up when a rivalry changes. We also get a pop-up when we get kicked out of a place that closes its borders, as these guys did, and we get a notification when borders are closed. When one of our ships goes missing in action, like they got kicked out of a territory, we'll get that pop-up. It'll show us when it returns, and it's going to be 2 months. It'll return back at our nearest star base, as I understand it. But we'll confirm that. Let's wait for him to return. He's back on the 29th of the 10th. So having both of these as rivals ordinarily would be a bad situation, or be a particularly bad situation because you'd expect them to ally one another. But because these guys are eradicators, they can't ally these guys, so it's not as bad as it might otherwise be. So we can get rid of all of those, and our ship... so it actually returned to the nearest planet rather than the nearest station. So let's send them back out this way and do some more surveying on this direction. So what I'm doing is I'm, rather than exploring near them where they could potentially expand and can explore more quickly than us, I'm trying to explore up towards their borders, and hopefully we'll get a chance to grab the cool planets that we want out of that stuff before they do. As for this guy, these guys grabbed that good system that I wanted, but we have locked off access through, not necessarily, people could go around there, but we're expanding down there. In fact, we already are. We're expanding down there now, and we'll have this path blocked off, so people have to go around us. Or through us. So what I might try and do, given that we've got people on either borders, I might try and get across there somewhere to lock in this stuff for us. And maybe a similar idea, try and grab a couple of systems around this way to try and lock off this stuff for us. Yeah, if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems, or 5 systems, that would be pretty cool, because that would prevent at least these clowns from coming down into this area, restrict them up into that, and force them to have to go through us, or better still, stay there and run out of resources and we take over them economically. But that will do for our quick run through of the diplomatics. I hoped that we'd be able to be friendly with these guys so I could show you how things go, but that ain't happening. We are improving. Let's not do that. How do I cancel that? I can't move him for another 190 days. Okay. I think he'll automatically come back from there. We are over our empire sprawl. So you can see that being 7 points over our empire sprawl cap, or sorry, 7 points over our administrative capacity, is causing our text to cost an extra 2%, our traditions to cost an extra 4%, and campaign cost to cost an extra 6.68%. But we're a dictatorship, so campaign costs don't matter. But tech costs and tradition costs do. So what I'll look to do next chance I get is build another administrative office on the first planet I get a chance to build an administrative office on. That will likely be here. We do have one job available that'll put us to 34. We need to think about doing some more building. Actually, we're over our amenities now. So happiness is, we've got a penalty to our happiness on our home planet. Still got a positive there. Oh yes, so our planet built, and we got a reassembled ship shelter as the center of our government on that planet for that one pop. Anywho's, that was that's right. I was going through the list of things that we could do. So we could have improved. That would slowly push this up, and ideally, before they rivaled us, prevent them from rivaling us, because you have to have a certain level of negative opinion before you can rival somebody. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to do that. We can harm relations. That will push people down towards being within rivalry range. We can declare war. We can make claims. So making claims is also done by that button over there. And all you do is you click on there, and it spends some of your influence, and you get to say, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. And if you declare on them for those claims, you occupy those systems, and then beat them into submission, or wait long enough that their war exhaustion goes up high enough that they accept the terms of their surrender, or they accept the claims that you've made, and then those systems are turned over to you. What you'll see is that the closer they are to your territory, the cheaper they are to claim. So that one there would cost us only 36, but that one over there would cost us 54. That one over there, actually that's misleading because it's inhabited. So that's 54. That's, why is that 50? Oh, because that's also 2 jumps. So where's something that's 3 jumps? That one there would cost us 72. So the further away you get, 54, 72, 90, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. It's still 4 jumps is the longest that we can put on them. So we could claim a good chunk of their stuff. No, we couldn't. I did my maths terribly there. But we had... Oh, I was looking at that as opposed to that. But, yeah, we could claim these 3 systems and declare on them. And, in fact, we may do that. We'll quickly squeeze out some more. We'll come back to that. I probably will declare on them so that I can show you a quick war. But let's continue on through here. Offer a trade deal, we saw before. You trade stuff for stuff. Offer a migration treaty means that their trust of you goes up, and it costs us influence every month, but their population will come to us, and our population will go to them, depending on who's got the more attractive planets. What it will also do is allow us to have colony ships with their people on them, and because they inhabit alpine worlds, if we had a bunch of alpine worlds that were available for colonization, we could drag a bunch of these people into our empire, and then colonize a bunch of alpine worlds and have them providing resources from those planets that we wouldn't otherwise be able to exploit. So migration treaties are really cool. Demand vassalization. If they're small enough to us, compared to us, then we can threaten them with vassalization. Once we occupy all of their inhabited systems, then they will accept a offer of vassalization, and become our vassal. In which case we get the subjugation CB for a year, and we need to declare within that 1 year, and then we can fully occupy them and they become our vassal, in which case they're not allowed to expand. We can demand that they give us a certain proportion of their stuff. I can't remember what proportion they give us their stuff. Basically, it's just a really convenient way of taking over little dudes who would otherwise cost you thousands of influence to put claims on and take the stuff from. So it's a good quick getting rid of potential enemies, or maybe more accurately potential allies of real enemies. Yeah. Then we've got demand tribute. We can make them a tributary, in which case they give us 25% of their stuff, and we protect them, and I think we give them some sort of boost to their... We may give them a boost to their tech? Something like that? I can't quite remember how it works, but I almost never do it. I'd rather eat their stuff that I want and beat them up. Ask to be their vassal, so we become their vassal instead, but they hate us, so there's very little likelihood they'll do that. Offer tribute, we can give them stuff. We can become their tributary, basically. So we don't have to fight them, but no, that ain't the case. Insult and rivalry. Defensive pact means that they will always be drawn into our defensive wars, and we will always be drawn into theirs. There's no choice about it, but they're quite hard to get. Form non-aggressive pact. Non-aggression pact is, yeah, there's no attacking, and it's sort of the step towards a defensive pact. Commercial pact means that you both exchange trade, and it advantages one side more than the other, but they're often with it. Again, that's another step, as is research agreement, in which you both get a bonus or you both get a cost reduction for exploring techs that the other nation already has. So I think you get a 25% bonus to research agreements. 25% reduction in cost to techs that the other empire already understands. Guarantee independence does what you'd expect it to do. You, if anyone declares on them, then you join the war to help defend them. Form federation, forms federations, and we'll go into that once we are able to get into a federation space with somebody. And closing borders, closes the borders, prevents them from wandering through your stuff. But this is interesting. Having a look in here in this window, we can see that they've got another rival, and it's someone we don't know. So there's a good chance that we're going to have a built-in ally because of mutual rivalries. And they're rivaled by two others. Interesting. So we may have two potential allies out there, just on the other side of space that we can't quite see. But that'll do us for Diplomacy Part 2. A little bit more information than last time, but still not the full suite. So we're going to look to find someone friendly out there and see if I can show you the whole lot in Diplomacy Part 3. See you then, if not before.